Thank you so much for coming out, Tierra. We're really excited to talk to you today.
Yes.
So just to start off, we wanted to hear, how did you start Tii Fit Wellness and what inspired you to start your organization?
Yeah, so let's see. Initially, I went to school for engineering, graduated, got into corporate America, and fitness was not like, I never played sports, I didn't do any of that, so fitness was kind of like my out. Corporate America is very stressful, and I found that out really quick and fast, and like going to the gym was my way of dealing and coping with the amount of stress, and then that kind of led to people saying, oh my God, you should teach classes now, like you should do this, and I was like, okay. So I ended up getting my yoga certification, and there was not a lot of representation like of Black women or Black people in general or people of color that was teaching yoga. So I was like, okay, this is something I want to do. I really feel like it's really beneficial. So I got my certification, did it, and I love teaching group classes. So I was literally balancing teaching out of a space, going to work full time, and then I was like, this is not working. Let me transition into like actually getting some experience. So I ended up getting a job at the YMCA part-time. So I did group classes there. I taught like 4 or 5 different group classes while I was still working full-time in corporate America. And I was like, you know what? I'm making a lot of money from this. You know, like this is good. Like I'm good at it. So I was like, in 2018, I decided to, I was going by Tii Fit Yoga initially. And then I was like, I want to create a business. Like I want to do this. And so I went through Mortar, you know, because I was like, I'm gonna get serious and I want to know. I have no clue of how to start a business. And I went through that and I switched my name to Tii Fit Wellness. So that's how I got into that, because I was like, I'm not just fitness. I want to teach people holistically. It's deeper than just go work out. You know, it's like, it's my mental health was suffering and my nutritional health was suffering, but I was going to the gym. So it's like, there's other pieces missing. And once I found that out, I was like, you know what? It's wellness. It's not just stay fit. You know, because people could have the greatest bodies, but mentally they're suffering. So fast forward, I started my business, still working full time. COVID hit. I was like, okay, I need a break. I was drained because I literally have 1 foot here, 1 foot out, and I was teaching like at the gyms. So I stopped my business 2020, took a break, and then 2021 I was like, okay, I must be meant to do this, because I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I started it back up. And 2022, I quit my full-time job as an engineer. And I'm doing my business full time now.
That's amazing.
It's a big journey.
That is truly amazing.
Still going, thank you.
So when you initially started your organization, what were like your biggest goals and like what like your mission that kind of led you to it?
I think it's really just helping people, honestly. I know that sounds like cliche, but to be honest, I found that, again, with social media, like the trend of fitness and things like that, I think people like the idea of, you know, okay, I just want the body, right? I just want to get fit, I want the body. And no one really understands that it's deeper than just that. So my goal was to help people, but not only help people, but make like wellness practical. You know, it's like, okay, you have a job. You know, some days you might want to drink. Some days you might want something fried. Some days you might want to, you know, not work out. Like, it's okay. There's other ways to tackle wellness, but, you know, you have to start at a place. So my goal is to make it practical, approachable, convenient. Like that is my slogan, that is my line, you know, and the convenience is, I offer online, I offer variety, right? Like I don't just do one thing, you know, and then the practicality and it's just, and the approachability is so that I'm like, I understand you have a life. You know, like you can't be in the gym all day, or you can't dedicate this amount of time. You might have kids, you might have a spouse, you might, I want to hang with friends, you know. I don't want to limit or restrict myself. So I'm reasonable and I understand that life is here to live, and you know, just take it one piece at a time, right? Like that's my goal. Take it one piece at a time and teach people that, so that they can have a better relationship with getting well.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So how do you feel that NEO has played a role in it, helped you, and just overall like furthered the mission? Yeah, so I think, first off, y'all have been a good help, okay? Good help. All right, so I initially was just teaching fitness classes. In 2021, I got approached to teach at an organization.
And at the moment, you know, I didn't really understand, you know, again, because I don't have any clue about business at the time, and no one in my family does it. So, you know, I'm just learning. I'm learning as I go. But I didn't understand the business to consumer, or I didn't understand the division, right? Business to consumer, business to business. So I started realizing, like, oh snap, my business is, you know, selling to organizations. I got asked to do a workshop at a real estate organization, and I did it, and I was like, oh, I just made X amount of money, like just like that, an hour, like. And so that literally a month later, I got approached by a lady from P&G, and she's like, oh, you're an engineer and you do wellness. Come talk to our group. So I literally got that, and I was like, I just made $1,000 in like 30 minutes. Wow. That was big for me. So, you know, because teaching a class, you know, $15, $10 here, you know, you have to kind of forge those relationships, whereas this was just kind of a one and done. But you still have that, you know, reference, that referral, you still have that experience to add. So I was like, I really need to build this out, because I got approached again. Hey, do you want to do the Kroger's Wellness Festival? I'm like, okay. And I got approached again. Hey, we want you to come teach yoga at our organization. So I had no really plan to market and promote my, you know, services to organizations. So when I got, you know, was told about Nia, I was like, okay, I need help with business to business. Like, I need help with this, you know, because the consumer piece of it, I'm like, okay, I know what I kind of need to do there. But the business to business side of it, I really had no clue. You know, that's just like, what is market price? I try to research it, but it's a lot to like do that. And really, it's just like have a team. I'm a one-woman show. So I think just to have a group of people that's like, okay, well, we can pick this up for you. We can research that for you. You know, this is what we found. This is what we think. You know, just to have that additional additional voices to kind of give me feedback, like, has been a big help. And it's really that research piece, because, you know, I'm still trying to build it out. So like, you know, helping me with the pitch deck, helping me with researching pricing, even looking for an intern, you know, I mean, people in America, like, you all did a lot. So I'm like, okay, thank you for the help.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Going along with that, where do you hope to see Tii at Tii Fit Wellness, like in the future? Like, what are your goals right now?
Really, I think just getting more into corporate wellness. Like, I'm always gonna teach fitness. I love it. I'm always gonna do the business and consumer side. I'm doing the community, you know, really building out that community piece, but really getting into organizations and showing the importance of workplace wellness. And not just go work out, eat right, get up, but really diving into, like, why can't we promote this while we're at work, while we're on the clock? We spend 9+ hours dedicating to these organizations. Why can't they just give us back an hour, 30 minutes, not just for lunch, but something with intention, right? Give people options. Like, we have a lounge area, we have a break room, we have a stretch, you know, thing. Like, we have stuff going on, and not just after work, because once you're done with work, you checked out, right? You're like, I wanna go home, I wanna eat with my family, I wanna do stuff. Like, you don't wanna spend extra time. And what I've seen is the participation rate goes a little bit down when they try to do stuff after work, because people are checked out. So it's like, I'm not, you know, saying don't do it, but what I'm saying is that why can't we have both? Especially with the bigger organizations. Like, why can't we do both? Why can't we say we have some stuff for you on the clock and off the clock, you know? And I think for me, it's like my mission, because I was under a lot of stress. It's my mission to really show organizations that it's possible, because I did it, you know. I did it while I was on the clock. I had started a group walking club, you know, I had my diffuser, people come up to me for advice, I'm like, I'm about to start charging y'all, you know, I'm gonna start charging you for these tips, but just really showing people, like, it can be done at work, and it's simple stuff. It doesn't have to be crazy, you know. So I think just really driving that message, and not just talking about it, but actually implementing and showing them that it's possible, that you could do that.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So I know you mentioned you were an engineer. How hard was the transition to go from engineer working full-time to starting your own business?
Well, my company made it easy for me. I mean, they made it easy because there was some stuff happening, but I think I kind of foreseen things kind of happening within the organization. So I was like, I need to save. That was my first thought. I was always told you should have at least 6 months to a year of your expenses, like what you spend monthly, set to the side. So I was like, I start prepping in advance for that. And then when it was just time to strike, I was just like, Lord, I'm gonna step out, like, I'm gonna do it. And I really did it, but I tell people, it's not just I didn't have a whole bunch of money saved in my 401k, because I'm still pretty young and I wasn't at my job for, a long time, but I was able to pull some money out of that. I was able to have money saved, and I am working on the side. So it's not like I'm just making all this money and I'm so like up here. I'm not there yet. But I just set money aside, and I really was intentional about buckling down and just learning as much as I can in this past year. And I think with that type of knowledge and just meeting people and being bold enough to go up to people and say, hey, I need this help, like I need help, I need this, and really just putting yourself out there, it kind of makes you hustle. It makes you grind. It's like, what do I got to lose at this point? And then I have a degree, so I can always go back. And I think that's what people don't understand. Like, you can always go back if you wanted to, but like try to see what you can do now, and then have a little faith and see where it takes you. So
I really like that.
Thank you.
Coming back to the NEO thing, do you have any feedback for us as an organization, how we can help local businesses better in the future, or what we've done well, what you liked about our organization? I think the group, I know it's a lot of y'all, right? So it's plenty, like it's different people that work. Okay. Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, at least I know like with the group I'm with, I think I like the detail of the overview. I'm an overview person. I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. I really like that, the direction and having that understanding of like where we're going. I think that it was really nice to have someone hear what you want to do and then kind of spit back out like, this is what we can do for you. I like the weekly check-ins and all of that. I mean, I don't really have anything, I don't want to say bad or any like real critiques, because I think the goal is really just, I thought it was just data. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I first heard about it, I was like, okay, I need data. Like, I need someone to go out and research. But the team that I was paired with it took it further. It was like, oh, well, we can do, your pitch deck. We can help you look for an intern. We can help you. And I was like, oh, you do that too? Like, I didn't know. So I think just having that flexibility and those resources has been super helpful. It's bigger than just let me go grab some data and spit it back out to you. It's like more so, what do you need? And this is what we can do. And there's still the data, obviously, which I like, the numbers. But I think it was the extra stepping outside of just that really has helped. So
that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
And we've really enjoyed working with you this semester, and we appreciate all that you've done.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out today. It was really great talking to you.
Yeah, same. Appreciate it.